Saludos, soy Daniel Raventós, vuestro monitor de inglés nivel conversación para el Centro Cultural Hortaleza en el distrito de Hortaleza. Esta semana el tema que hemos elegido es el de pinturas, ¿de acuerdo? The topic that we have chosen is paintings. So today that I have to do my own speech, I'll talk about the Arnolfini portrait that is one of my favorite paintings, one of my favorite pieces of art. It was probably the responsible of me studying the history of art degree. So, okay, I'll talk about this because I really love it. About the Arnolfini portrait, I have to say that is a 1434 oil painting on oak panel by the early Netherlandish painter Jan van Eyck. It forms a full-length double portrait believed to depict the Italian merchant Giovanni di Niccolao Arnolfini and his wife, presumably in their residence at the Flemish city of Bruges. It is considered one of the most original and complex paintings in Western art because of its beauty, complex iconography, geometric orthogonal perspective, and expansion of the picture space with the use of a mirror. According to Gombrich, one of the most important art historians, it is on way it was as new and revolutionary as Donatello's or Maseccio's works in Italy. A simple corner of the real world has suddenly been fixed onto a panel as if by magic. For the first time in history, the artist became the perfect eyewitness in the truest sense of the term. The portrait has been considered by Panofsky, another famous art historian, and some other art historians as a unique form of marriage contract, recorded as a painting, signed and dated by Van Eyck in 1434. It is with the Ghent altarpiece by the same artist and his brother Habert, the oldest very famous panel painting to have been executed in oil rather than in tempera. The painting was bought by the National Gallery in London in 1842. Van Eyck used the technique of applying several layers of thin translucent glazes to create a painting with an intensity of both tone and color. The glowing colors also help to highlight the realism and to show the material wealth and opulence of Arnolfini's world. Van Eyck took advantage of the longer drying time of oil paint compared to tempera to blend colors by painting wet in wet to achieve subtle variation in light and shade to heighten the illusion of three-dimensional forms. The medium of oil paint also permitted Van Eyck to capture surface appearance and distinguish textures precisely. He also rendered the effects of both direct and diffuse light by showing the light from the window on the left reflected by various surfaces. It has been suggested that he used a magnifying glass in order to paint the minute details such as the individual highlights on each of the amber beads hanging beside the mirror. The illusionism of the painting was remarkable for its time, in part for the rendering of detail, but particularly for the use of light to evoke space in an interior, for its utterly combining the depiction of a room, as well of the people who inhabit it. Whatever meaning is given to the scene and its detail, and there has been much debate on this, according to some art historians, the painting is the only 15th century northern panel to survive in which the artist's contemporaries are shown engaged in some sort of action in a contemporary interior. It is indeed tempting to call this the first genre painting, a painting of everyday life, of modern times. So, next to this previous information, I'll talk about the interpretation and symbolism in this portrait, in this painting, that is really amazing. It is thought that the couple are already married because of the woman's headdress. According to an art historian, Margaret Carroll, a non-married woman would have her hair down. The placement of the two figures suggests conventional 15th century views of marriage and gender roles. The woman stands near the bed and well into the room, symbolic of her role as a caretaker of the house and solidifying her in a domestic role, whereas Giovanni stands near the open window, symbolic of his role in the outside world. Arnolfini looks directly out at the viewer. His wife gazes obediently at his husband. His hand is vertically raised, representing his commanding position of authority, whilst she has her hand in a lower, horizontal, more submissive pose. However, her gaze at her husband can also show her equality to him because she is not looking down at the floor as lower-class women would. They are part of the Burgundian court life, and in that system, she is his equal, not his subordinate. The symbolism behind the action of the couple's joined hands has also been debated among scholars. Many point to this gesture as a proof of the painting's purpose. Is it a marriage contract or something else? Panofsky interprets the gesture as an act of faith. He calls the representation of the couple who were contracting their marriage by marital oath. The man is grasping the woman's right hand with his left, which is the basis for the controversy. Another point is about the wife, if she is pregnant or not. Although many viewers assume the wife to be pregnant, this is not believed to be so. Art historians point to numerous paintings of female virgin saints similarly dressed and believe that this look was fashionable for women's dresses at the time. There is a curved figure as a finial on the bedpost, probably of Saint Margaret, patron saint of pregnancy and childbirth, who was invoked to assist women in labor and to cure infertility, or possibly representing Saint Martha, the patroness of housewives. From the bedpost hangs a brush symbolic of domestic duties. Furthermore, the brush and the rock crystal prayer beds, a popular engagement present from the future bridegroom, appearing together on either side of the mirror, may also allude to the dual Christian injunctions ora et labora. It means pray and work. According to Jean-Baptiste Bedeau, the broom could also symbolize proverbial chastity. It sweeps out impurities. It is also very important in this painting the mirror, because it's a convex mirror in which, according to some interpretation, the viewer can be viewing himself or herself in a sense of spectator of this situation of marriage. According to some interpretation, the little dog symbolizes fidelity, loyalty, or can be seen as an emblem of lust, signifying the couple's desire to have a child. Unlike the couple, he looks out to meet the gaze of the viewers. The dog could be simply a lapdog, a gift from husband to wife. Many wealthy women in the court had lapdogs as companions, so the dog could reflect the wealth of the couple and their position in the courtly life. The green of the woman's dress symbolizes hope, possibly the hope of becoming a mother. The bright green color is also indicative of the couple's wealth. Dyeing fabric such as shade was difficult and therefore expensive. Her white cap could signify purity, but probably signifies her being married. Behind the pair, the curtains of the marriage bed have been opened. The red curtains might allude to the physical act of love between the married couple. The single candle in the left front holder of the ornate six-branched chandelier is possibly the candle used in traditional Flemish marriage customs. Lit in full daylight, like the sanctuary lamp in a church, the candle may allude to the presence of the Holy Ghost or the ever-present eye of God. Alternatively, some people think that the painting is a memorial portrait, as the single lit candle on Giovanni's side contrasts with the burned-out candle whose wax tap can just be seen on his wife's side, evoking a common literary metaphor. He leaves home, she is dead. The cherries present on the tree outside the window may symbolize love. The oranges which lie on the window sill and chest may symbolize the purity and innocence that reigned in the Garden of Eden before the fall of man. They were uncommon and a sign of wealth in the Netherlands, but in Italy were a symbol of fecundity in marriage. The fruit could more simply be a sign of the couple's wealth, since oranges were very expensive imports. It could be a sign of fertility as well. Bueno, espero que hayáis entendido bastante de lo que os he ido contando, de lo que he estado leyendo y relatando también por mí mismo sobre esta maravillosa pintura. Aprovecho para recordaros que podéis probar, practicar a hablar sobre vuestra pintura favorita o lo que quiera que os evoque la palabra pintura, y podéis probar a grabaros a vosotros mismos realizando vuestro speech, ¿de acuerdo? Cualquier duda o consulta, no olvidéis que tenéis mi correo electrónico para hacérmelo llegar. Muchísimas gracias y os animo a ver el próximo vídeo. Hasta entonces, espero que estéis muy bien.